Welcome. Today we're going to talk about collaboration in music using my most recent video release as an example. Here we go. Did you ever see a robin weep when leaves begin to die? That means he's lost the will to live. So lonesome, I could cry. I've been a solo artist for many years. As a matter of fact, I've only ever played in two bands, one in high school and one for about 6 months in 2012 and 2013. It's hard to keep a band together where everybody's an equal. It's kind of like being married to a bunch of people that you aren't in love with. Now, some of the greatest music ever comes from bands. But to be honest, when it comes to my own music, I have always wanted things to be a certain way. Now, I will note that I've had some very excellent musicians work with me over the years.
Your voice on the phone, we're not alone. We will not be defined by things that we've done wrong.
Some of these musicians make great music on their own.
And they pass around that play to catch as we pass a whiskey bottle.
In the last year, some of the musical moments that I've been the most proud of have come from musical collaborations. Some of these have not been released yet.
Sit down next to me. Lay your head upon my shoulder.
One of the most important aspects of collaboration, and to be honest, the part that I probably struggle with the most, is that you have to be a little selfless. My colleague and new friend, Evie Kelton, is really good at this.
And then I heard your song and I loved it. And so did my husband. And he's from this part of the world. But I realized that I wasn't going to sing the whole thing because that would quite ruin it. So I just joined you on that chorus. The verse goes da 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 dee, 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 dee. And I thought that was such a beautiful melody. It's best left alone.
You added some string parts as well.
Clay did that.
Clay did that.
My
Okay.
husband. And it was good because there was one part where you said, no, we can do without that. And that's nice. I like people to really say what they want and, not be polite and say, oh, how nice everything is. It's not.
Mm-hmm.
This is your interpretation of the song, and it's how you want it that it's going to be.
This statement actually was a pleasant surprise to me, and it very naturally brings me to my second point, which is that in a project, there has to be somebody who has the vision and who's able and willing to call the shots if needed.
Both of us are on level musically, I think. So I would respect your ideas and you would respect mine. But it's your song, so I would go and not push too much about what I think. So here, clearly, you were the boss.
Ultimately, the great advantage of collaboration is that you get to add musical choices to your project that are different than the ones that you would make on your own. Now, my third point goes hand in hand with my second point, and that is that you can't have too many equals involved in a collaboration. Now, how many is too many will vary depending on what the project is and who the personalities involved are. I tap out at about 2 to 3 people. But I'm enough of an idealist that I've always felt that maybe I should be operating a different way. My conversation with Evie was actually really helpful in this regard to normalize some of this for me.
If I'm working in a choir, you need a director of the choir. If I'm the director of the choir, then I'm the director. I'm always open to feedback, but you can't have too many people collaborating, then it becomes like a mess.
My fourth point is that in a collaboration, you should know what people are good at, and you should give them tasks that fit those strengths.
So collaboration is wonderful, but I think seriously, everybody has their own strengths. And what I like to think I'm good at is finding those strengths. Find out why they are there in that group and how they can contribute.
Yeah.
And let them do what they feel good at.
Ultimately, you're setting people up for success.
So we wrote this whole show. And when I say we all, I mean my family. We have a huge family. Somebody was videoing, somebody was editing, somebody was writing songs. It just came together and it looked like a super show, but it was great. But I know all these people so well and I work with them so well. And you can fight and shout and scream and cry and you can be yourself. You can be real. So that's the kind of team I like to work in, where you can be yourself and nobody takes offense.
Healthy disagreements can bond you as long as you don't cross the line too often. Last point. If you want to be a frequent collaborator with somebody, you have to be easy to work with and efficient to work with. In my experience, if you're hard to get a hold of, or if you don't turn in your parts quickly enough, then people won't want to work with you repeatedly. Now, sometimes this is a my time is too valuable decision. Sometimes it's just being aware of when people are actually free and available to work with you. And sometimes it's a decision to not put more of a strain on a friendship. Friendships can just be too valuable for that. And without friends, it gets awfully lonely. So lonesome, I could cry. That's it for now, folks. Thanks to Evie and Clay for making time for this collaboration and for talking to me.
It's so nice talking about these things, Brian. You made me think about what I was doing and why. So I'm grateful for that.
If you want to see the performance of this song, link is in the description. If you want to own a copy of this song, just go over to my website and subscribe to my mailing list. So Lonesome is one of the free songs this month. See you soon.